Hello, hi Rebecca. First comment. Welcome, I'm glad to see you tonight. And tonight we're gonna do a little different format. I don't have an official topic to talk about, like the garden or taxes or any of the things that we've done in the past. And I just made it stop charging. Hang on. Because I moved the curtain so this little children won't bother us. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Or that outlet. Oh man, it's not doing it. It's not doing it. I should have left the curtain as is. Oh, Cheryl, you've got some snow, have you? Hi, 7 people. All right. If you guys would, please tell me who's here watching. Chris is going to try and fix the power cord for us right there. And where are you watching from? Howling Dog Ranch. There we go. We have power. Thanks, Chris. How are you, Amanda? Where are you watching from? Let's see. And we've got Cheryl and we've got Rebecca. Who else is in the house?
Me.
Chris is here watching. All right. Hello, Tina. I think you're here every week, Tina. She's watching from Niagara Falls. How is your weather up there? Cold and snowy? Did you guys get a lot of snow? Northern Missouri got, hello, Empty Nest from New Jersey. Oh, hey, my neighbors from California are watching. Hi, Pat. Hi, Pam. Patricia, sorry. I never call you Pat. The Netherlands. Oh, Toucan Jungle, was it Productions? Yes, thanks for joining us tonight. I am so glad you're here. So normally I come in with a topic. Let's talk about farm taxes. Let's talk about gardening. I also saw somebody was here from New Jersey. Let's see. And we've got Mimi Home Channel from Georgia. Cheryl's still in Scotland. You haven't left yet. Empty Nest Ranch. All right. All right. So this week I'm doing something kind of fun. When you go out with a friend and you sit down over coffee, you chat about life and you give each other advice. And I thought, why not do a segment and we'll call it Lorella's Life Advice. I have a friend who will talk to me and she will say, Lorella, I need your words. I need your words. And she'll tell me the situation that she's thinking about, whether how to reduce screen time with her children or, you know, whatever's going on. Okay, Lorella, let's hear some words. So that kind of inspired me to say, okay, guys, I can give you my words. So bring it. Go ahead and throw some questions at me, and I will advise you. So this could be disastrous. It could be funny. It could be a lot of fun. It could be a really good segment. If everybody likes it, maybe we'll do it from time to time. Haven't tried this before over a live chat like this. I've only ever done this one-on-one with people, but you are my friends and I like hanging out with you. So what you got, guys? What's going on? What can we talk about tonight? Chris, you want to kick it off?
Homestead in the Highlands says they need help with a friend.
All right, Cheryl. So don't use a name in case they're watching. And let's lay some ground rules. We're not going to bash our spouses or other people during this. I try to always be kind, but my commitment to you is I will be honest. All right. So, Cheryl, what's the situation? I'm assuming she's going to take some time to type it up. So while we're waiting, anybody else want some advice from Lorella? Want some words?
So I got one to kick things off while we're waiting. Oh, here we go. She doesn't live with her husband. She doesn't work. Her husband pays for most things, including her horses. She told hubby she wants to split, but she hasn't left.
Okay, so I think it says she isn't in love with her husband. Is probably what that means.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so she's basically my Americanized version of that. She's no longer in love with her husband. She wants to leave him. She has told him she wants to leave, but she doesn't have a job. So basically, right, she can't afford to leave. She's still living with him. And you want to know what you should say to your friend? Is that what your question is?
She should grow a pair. Sorry, we had to get that one in there for a friend of ours that requested it.
And Chris knew that's probably not something I would say. Okay, well, so what would I say to my friend in that situation? All right, so Chris, you're going to keep track of the questions that come up for me.
I got them. I'll get you the next one when you're done. Homestead says she's told her to leave and she wants to take her dogs but can't find somewhere to live and take the dogs.
Okay. Then, do you want her to live with you? Do you want to give her a room to stay in? I'm going to assume no. Especially if she's not paying rent. So, the first thing that I would probably tell my friend is you need to go look for a job if you want to stay in the area. She doesn't want her hubby to stop paying for the horses and stuff. Well, at this point, really, then it's between them. If they are not,
but assuming her friend comes to her and says, "What should I do?"
Go get a job.
She needs to work on getting her independence. If she's in.
Is this Chris's life advice right now? Is that what we're doing?
Well, mine's always the best advice because I'm always right. Right?
That was a pretty good shot. All right. Yes, so I would start to, she's in sick
disability.
Benefit, right, disability, I think is what we call that here in the U.S. Well,
hey, thanks for the sub.
She's going to have to find something she can do from home, some sort of skill that she can do even within her disability to earn some income, or she's going to have to stay with her husband. I mean, that's really, and if he is allowing that to continue to happen, I don't know if there's anything else that she can do, and I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, there's nothing really you can do unless you're tired of hearing her moan about it. I mean, because that, to me, that's more a situation between them. And sometimes you can, okay, here's, you can understand what a person is feeling, and you can state that you agree with their feeling, or you can acknowledge it without agreeing with it. So you can say things like, I can understand how that would be really frustrating for you not being able to work because you're on the sick benefit. That must be difficult. What do you think your options are? So that's the kind of thing that I would probably do. I would acknowledge her feelings of being stuck in the situation. I would acknowledge her feeling of frustration because she can't work. And then I would ask her, what do you think your options are? Have you thought about A, B, C, D? I don't know what they have available for you there in Scotland. In the U.S., we have organizations that are like vocational rehabilitation. Their specific reason that they're set up is to help persons with disabilities find jobs. So I would try to find resources, and then I would be a listening ear, but no more than that. So I think that's my advice for that one. Or in England, same thing. I don't know what resources there are there, but I would say, have you looked into your resources? Have you talked to any local agencies? Have you done that? Okay, I can understand. Again, I would just empathize. I understand how you must feel. I understand how frustrating this must be. What do you think your options are?
So she's done that for the last 2 years, and he's a nice guy and won't move on while she's still clinging on to him. It's really a tough spot.
At that point, I would probably just stop. I would check out a little bit and be like, there's nothing more I can do with you, because it sounds like they're in a cycle. So she might need some more counseling than Lorella can give at this point.
All right, moving on to the next question. Toucan Jungle Productions says, could you tell us anything about your visit to White House on the Hill and anything you learned new from their trip to their farm?
Okay. So, I want to say I had met Jake and Becky last year at Baker Creek, and we got to spend some time with Farm Alarm just hanging out with them for a while. So I knew them a little bit. And hi, Rosanna. And while I was there, before we did any filming, we sat in their kitchen and just chatted for about an hour and a half. It was quite fun. We talked about just life and farming and kind of like we're doing now. And then we started filming. So I think it's good to have that kind of rapport with people before you go on camera with them, so that it makes things a little more natural. And what did I learn new?
What do you think about that? I'm going to just jump in with one quick thing for Homesteading in the Highlands for her friends.
Yes.
One thing that you always have to remember, they're not my monkeys, right?
Oh, not my circus, not my monkeys.
Not my circus, not my monkeys. You can tell people their monkeys are flinging poop, but you know,
if they're not willing to get out the broom and clean it up or train their monkeys or put diapers on them, you can't do any more, right?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I know. What did you learn?
And I agree. So what did I learn from them? I learned some camera tips. I also noticed that when I walked in their house, they had their camera on the little mini tripod with the microphone on it, all set on a place, so that when they were ready to start filming, all they had to do was grab it and go. And I got a new camera around Christmas time, and that's something that I've been struggling with, is I'm having to take it out of the bag and assemble it every time before I go film, which adds an extra, I don't know, extra amount of time. So that would be to have that ready to go, some shooting tips, and then and I'm trying to think. And then they do a lot of things with birds, and I do with birds too. And so we talked about their different breeds of varieties of birds and stuff like that. I hope that answers your question. Who else has a question, Chris? Who else has joined us that I haven't said hello to yet? Hi, Michelle. Let's see, Rosanna.
Branscombe Farm. Checked
Hello,
in.
Branscombe Farm. Hi. Oh, yes, Branscombe Farm. So you guys remember last week that I talked about the little girl talking about her bunnies? That was Branscombe Farm. So if you didn't go check out that video, make sure you do. Also, last week we had all our veg varieties that we listed. And I went back through the comments and the live chat and put all of them in one list in a comment and pinned that comment to the top. Hey, Vicki from Little Creek Homestead just joined us.
All right, so Flying V's Farm has a question. What is your advice when sharing to share your passion and life with people when it's not the same as theirs? It's not the norm.
Well, I think, okay, so I think a lot of us who are homesteaders or interested in going back to ways that are not very common now, we face this a lot because we're so passionate about the food that we're eating, or about the way things are grown, or returning to some old skills. I know, Rebecca, you do some I always forget what it's called, like period clothing and reenactments and things like that. So I would say if you are interested in it and if you are passionate about it, people will want to know about it. And I think a lot of it too is going to be the way you speak about it. So if I come to you and I have my hands like this and I'm so excited to tell you the thing that I just learned, this is very open body language that invites people in. Whereas if I was like, yeah, I'm pretty excited, I just learned about something, this is closed body language. This is simple stuff, but it really makes a difference. So if you will open yourself up, if you smile, historical reenacting. Okay, I was pretty close. I got there.
But it holds true for anything that's outside of the mainstream, right?
Yes, right. So I think that you're being interested in it. And I also think it's important that you listen as much as you speak. So are you interested in what they're talking about? What are their interests? And I think you can find commonalities even though the subjects are vastly different. I think knowing what is your why? Why are you interested in historical reenactment? What is it about that time period that you're attracted to? Is it the manners of the thing? Is it the fact that you just like to be really educated? Is it you think it's a more peaceful time, a more simple time? Those themes translate over subjects. So if you can explain to people why you are so interested in this, or not if you can explain to them, but if you know what your why is, then that informs how you speak about such things.
And I'll say anything that you have that sparks an interest in you potentially can spark an interest in them.
Sure. And I, by nature, am a very curious person. So the minute anybody starts talking to me about what they do or what their hobbies are, I've got 1,001 questions for them. And I think that helps. That helps people. When you get somebody to open up about themselves, and then you can open up about yourself, it's a two-way street. Conversations should go both ways. Hello, Pond River Farm. Okay, so we're now at about 15 minutes in. I have several new viewers on tonight, so thank you everybody who's joining us for the first time. To give you a little bit of my background, I'm Lorella, not a farm girl on a homestead adventure. 5 years ago, I can't believe it's been 5 years now, I moved my family from Los Angeles to southern Missouri to lead a more organic life with closer ties to our food and to our land. And my channel is all about documenting the journey as we learn how to take care of our animals and grow our own food. And we're also building a house. I do still work. I'm a sign language interpreter by trade, and I think that's it. So that's what we're doing. Howling Dog, born and raised in LA. Yeah, we were in the Bellflower Downey area, and hey Pam and Patricia who are still there. Okay, so.
Hey, I'm curious if Pam and still has backyard chickens.
Yes. Oh, right. I should give a huge shout out to my friend Pam, because Pam and Patricia have been very interested in healthy eating long before I even had an idea that that's what I wanted to do. And we used to get fresh eggs from her, and she grows her own food, and she has a fruit tree in her front yard, more than one, I think. So Pam, have you still got your chickens? Even though we lived in the really suburban area, it was legal to have chickens.
But not roosters.
But not roosters. Right. So Pam, if you're still watching, have you got chickens? And then Anne from Henny Hills Farm asked why we chose the state of Missouri. And hi, Brenda. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, Little Creek Homestead asked the same question.
Okay. The reason we chose Missouri is we were looking for property near where we had family. So we were looking basically at Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Missouri. Missouri is where my parents were. My dad was ill at the time. And the price of land was really good here. The laws for homeschooling and gun laws were really good here. And things grow better than they do in Texas and Oklahoma. So that's in a nutshell.
Let's get that on the dust bowl.
All right. So I see I've got some comments. Brenda Montaigne says, I wonder if she has any interest in working on marriage counseling. Oh, you're commenting back to Homestead in the Highlands. So that might be something she could check into. All right, let's see. I gotta scroll down. I'm waiting.
So Michelle Cutler, she says her videos are all over the place. Recipes, homesteading, crafts, vlogging, and she was told she would get more views if she kind of focused in on one. Do you have any advice on that?
I do. I would suggest that you go and subscribe to the following two channels, Nick Nimmin and Think Media with Sean Cannell. Think Media is actually my preference of the two, and you watch a bunch of their videos. So it really depends on why you want to be on YouTube. Do you want to be on YouTube to earn money, which is, it's an okay reason to be on there? Do you want to be on YouTube to share your passion with your friends and family? there is some truth to the fact that if you can niche down, then you will get more views because people will know what to expect every time they want to come. And Mama Grows, Kathleen, who's on this channel, we had a discussion about this the other day because I said Mama Grows, right? Yeah, okay. Right after I saw Mama Dean come up, I was like, uh-oh, did I say the wrong name? And she loves camping, but her channel is a homesteading channel. So how does camping fit in? So my advice to her was, Chris, can you find the links for those two channels that I mentioned and throw them up in the comments?
Yeah, probably.
Thank you. Okay, so you're not interested in earning money. Okay, that's cool. Great. Then you do not need to worry about that quite as much. You're just wanting to share your story. And what I told Kathleen was, if you want to have a variety of content like that, something that's not in your normal niche, then I suggest that you do like a series. So every Friday during the summer, I'm going to have a camping video or something like that in her case. So Michelle, what you might do is set up some kind of scheduling, scheduled posting. So you could say Mondays will be my cooking videos, Wednesday will be my crafting videos, and Friday I'll be whatever, or something like that. And then you can make your videos ahead of time. You don't have to put them up in the order you make them. So that's what I would suggest, Michelle, if you want to keep doing that different kind of content. That way your viewers who really love your cooking episodes but aren't as crafty, they know, okay, I'll check back with Michelle's channel every Monday and then I can ignore her other uploads. Or they can say, you know, anything like that. So I would suggest that you schedule the content to come out regularly.
It was Think Media. What was the second one?
Nick Nimmin, Nicknimmmin.
Got it.
All right, let's see. Did I miss any other questions? I saw Mama Dean's in the house. Hello, Mama Dean. Hello, Denise. Thank you. I appreciate your comment. Denise, stop. Where are you watching from? Hello, Pond River Farm. Good to see you. Let's see. I think I've said hello to most everybody. If I didn't say hi to you yet, I apologize. You know, everybody says it, but the comments go flying by.
Okay, Brenda Montoya. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure we both butchered it.
When you were talking about what direction you wanted to go, how are your decisions working out for you as far as your channel, focus, and contentment level?
Okay. So, my focus, contentment, and what? Channel?
Yeah, your channel decisions.
Okay, so
I think it's looking back to
when
deciding.
I was thinking about quitting YouTube and then I decided to become more of a storyteller.
Yeah.
Okay. So Brenda, that's what I'm going to speak to. If that's not what you meant, ask your question again so that we can talk about that. I am actually really loving YouTube more now. I was having this real inner turmoil, and it was it was hard because I thought one of the big things that I thought I was taking away time from my family. And I also, those two channels that I mentioned, I started watching them after I made that decision, when I really decided I need to dial down how I worked it. So what I used to do was take lots and lots of video and then hand it over to Chris and he would try to make a story out of it. And now I have learned that I'm going to tell a story and I think about what kind of shots I want and what I'm going to be talking about and everything ahead of time. That really helps. I try to have a schedule so that I can like shoot my videos on one day, edit on another day. I've said is I block time for that into my schedule instead of just trying to do it whenever I can. That helps. Knowing that my family is on board and they want me to keep doing YouTube really helps also with that. And I have returned to finding joy in it. Just making those few changes have given me a peace of mind, and I am right now, I'm putting out a edited video every Saturday and a live video every Wednesday, and that also helps because I was before just putting up videos whenever I had them to go, and so now I kind of having that set schedule. I'm a person that does well with routine, so that helps me a lot.
And would you say that having this new creativity plan helps you in keeping your videos focused and not like overwhelmed and all over the place?
Yes. All right, and then she just spoke. Let's see what she said. There was the first part of that comment, but it got too long. Had to do with another YouTuber that I told should come visit you for that happiness level video, which I found so interesting. Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed that. All right, have we got, and I saw, thank you, Brenda. I saw Vicky from Little Creek Homestead is in the house, and I don't know if I said hello to you earlier, so I'm glad you're here at our live chat. Tonight's live chat is a little different. If anyone has joined in, I'm not talking about a specific subject as far as gardening or animals or whatever. I am actually giving you life advice. So bring your questions, and I'll be handing it out as best I can, just like if we were sitting down together over coffee and you asked me a question, I would tell you what I thought. All right, bye, Mama Dean. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. We are about halfway through the live chat right now, so if you guys don't mind hitting that like button, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll take a little break while you pop out, get that like button thumbed up. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and tick that bell. You'll know every time we go live or have a new video out.
Yes.
Which is typically what? Saturdays and Wednesdays. For now.
Saturdays and Wednesdays. And Brenda, yes, that's Bellflower, California. Not too far from Bell. A couple cities over.
Yeah, we weren't in the corruption there. But it's all corrupt.
Oh, Vicky, I'm sorry you've been sick. All right. Pond River Farm says, I want to become more active in making videos, enjoy the process, and I want to promote our farm and what we are and will be growing on the farm. So a scheduled upload would help me. Yes, it also helps your view count. We all know, well, maybe we don't all know. I'm sorry, I shouldn't make that assumption. YouTube, their metric system honors views and minutes watched. And if you post like every Saturday at exactly the same time, then the YouTube analytics program knows to expect a video from you coming out and they'll promote it. But if you just put up random videos here and there, YouTube doesn't, they don't honor that. I hate to say it that way because it's a computer program. It's not like a person is going like, oh, well, she's not on schedule, but it's kind of like that. The program does.
It's called machine learning.
Machine learning. So they will promote your videos if your videos will be better promoted, I should say, if you have a regular schedule.
So also, several viewers are saying that a schedule would help them.
And it also helps with your sanity. Yeah.
Henny Hill Farms has a question about what video editor do you use? And I think you can maybe take that back and tell like a little story about how you kind of grew to where you are now.
Sure. When I first started YouTube, I was taking all videos on my iPhone, and oh look, it's like one of those weird things. If I hold it over here long enough,
no, it won't.
It won't. Yes,
No.
it is. Yes, it is.
Don't
now
do
it's
it.
3.
Don't do it. You're gonna break the YouTube computers.
Sorry, just freaked myself out of it. I did all filming on my phone, and I edited in iMovie on my phone. Hello, the spotted dog. I'm new, but I'm inspired since you were once where I am at. Oh, I love that. Okay, spotted dog, where are you watching from now? And what's your first name, if you don't mind telling me? Okay, so I'll come back to these next 2 questions. First, I want to finish the question about editing. I used iMovie on my phone, and that works pretty good. Then Chris came to the farm, and he has Final Cut Pro on his computer. So then I started giving him all the footage. Sarah from South Florida, thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here. Started giving him all the footage to edit, and that worked pretty good. but sometimes I would have an idea of how I wanted the video to look in my head, and Chris isn't a mind reader, go figure. Nobody is. And so there was some tension there when he would do this great job of editing and then be like, wait, can we move this over here? And can you like change this around? And then Chris got a job here in town, and so his time was greatly reduced. So slowly, and then around the same time that I made this decision that I needed to be a better storyteller, I took over all the editing of my videos. So I have the complete creative control of my videos now, and I go in and I use Final Cut Pro, and he has been training me, and it's tough on him because, first of all, I'm not as technical savvy as he is. Second of all, my memory ain't what it used to be. It's like a steel sieve. And so...
A rusty one, not that.
Yeah. So, like, there's a key thing, and I don't even know if that's in... I think that's in the app that I use for my... you need to block that person. I don't even know if you're a... I don't know if you can. Mama Girls will take care of it if she's on.
Yeah.
So now I use Final Cut Pro, but I'm still learning, and he has to sometimes use mnemonics, like he did Apple T for transform, Apple T for transform, and I forgot in front. He's like, transformer, like the big trucks, T, transform. So I finally figured it out. All right. Now I saw a couple more questions come through. Mama Grows had one that said advice.
So for the Windows users out there,
yes, what would you recommend?
Adobe Premiere is probably like one of the more common softwares, and then there's that free one that we were working with the other night.
Mama Grows, what is the one you use? I forget. Hello, I want to say hello to Mom H. Hello, Mountain Man. Mountain Man, where are you watching from? And if you don't mind letting me know your first name, I try to get to know everybody. All right. Mom Gross says, I need advice. I need to hear it more to understand and soak it in. How do I separate my cooking and my family, not eating my food with my personal values? With my personal value. Okay, this is this will take a little while. So, someone uses Video Pad, they said. Mom H, I think, said that.
Okay.
So, okay. I'm going to have to not read the comments for a minute so I can just speak directly to this. So, the issue that Kathleen and I were talking about specifically was when, Kathleen, I hope it's okay that I can share this. I won't go to the details, but basically she would put her heart and soul into making a meal, and then either her children would say, she'd say, dinner's ready. Well, what is it? Or, someone in the family might say, I don't like this, or I don't like, well, me personally, I don't like food with bones in it, or whatever. And so then it would become really frustrating, and why do I even cook? And so we had this discussion about how when we have these feelings, Chris, is it okay if I talk about us and money for a minute on here? Okay. So for me, it took me a long time to separate how Chris spends his money and how he values me as a person. Chris likes shiny things. Is this true, Chris?
That's true.
And so frequently he will come home with a new big ticket item that isn't exactly in our budget. Is that true?
Well, it's been a while.
Okay, it's been a while.
As she thinks, I'm looking at it right here.
Yes, I know. I'm like, the iPad I'm using. And what happened is I would get this, I would be hurt. I would feel hurt. I would feel devalued. I would feel not listened to, because we would set up a budget and agree to a budget, right? And then he would come in with this thing that was not in the budget that we hadn't saved up for. He never spent money we didn't have. He's not buying it on credit, so I don't want to give that. But it just, to me, was like do we not have a conversation about budgeting? Are we not saving up for these other things? You know, I could use a new pair of eyeglasses or something like that, right? And that's how I respond, very sarcastically and very hurt. Tears. I respond often in tears. What else, Chris?
But that's just, so you cry at all the movies too.
Right. So, no, I'm just saying that these are reactions. And so I had to learn that how he's spending his money is not a reflection of who I am. And that I cannot find my self-worth in Chris's wallet. And Kathleen...
Nope, that's empty.
Kathleen cannot find her self-worth in her family's thankfulness for her food. Right? So, hey Ashley, glad you're in the house. But if you're going to have an emotional reaction, almost all the time you're going to have a physical reaction that comes when those feelings are triggered. And often you have those kind of feelings, those hurt, because of the way you were raised. And when people have different backgrounds and different experiences, then they come into relationship with different expectations, right? And so because of the way I was raised and the way I think about money and being very frugal and all of that, then when somebody isn't that, it triggers in me a fear of not having enough, a fear of lacking, a fear of being not valued, like I said. And so what I have learned is that I'm going to feel something physically. So I'm going to feel tears well up in my eyes. I'm going to feel my face flush. I'm going to feel my stomach start to grumble, right? And so what I have learned and what happened with the iPad, actually, when I was starting to be like, and just go nuts about it, I just stopped because I felt the tears in my eyes, and I just sat there quietly for a minute, and I said, okay, this is touching on a fear inside of me. I do not find my value in Chris's wallet or even in what Chris thinks about me. I find my value in what God says about me and who I am and that I'm his child. Okay. We've been through money problems before. It'll be fine. We'll get through it. And so then I was able to take a deep breath and respond in a Christ-like manner. Now, does it mean that it's okay for him to go out and buy whatever he wants and the family to not have the things they need? No, not necessarily. But it does mean that I'm able to respond in an appropriate way rather than it becoming this big, huge blow-up fight. And so that's what we were talking about.
So we got some comments from Brenda regarding doing Dave Ramsey for the first time.
Very helpful.
She's a natural bookkeeper, but hubby is the breadwinner.
All right.
They're not in debt, married 37 years, but it's still a challenge.
Yes, and I think it will be, but I think that when you can learn to have these kind of discussions and you can recognize these feelings, then you can deal with them in an appropriate way rather than in fights and yelling and whatever else you do. Okay.
So I'm going to just share a link.
Man from Arkansas. You share. I'm going to look at comments.
All right. So I just shared the link for the rest of you that really liked the shiny things. You can click on the link here to take you to our Not a Farm Girl shop, bump you over to Amazon, see the list of all the shiny things I've bought, and stuff I might like to have.
All right. So Spotted Dog is Sarah, 35-year-old single female. Is it possible to go homestead alone? Yes, I'm going to come back to that. And Mountain Man's in Arkansas.
Yep.
And all right, and that's what you go by. Okay, so that's what I'll call you. No problem. And let's see.
So homesteading alone, wow, that's got to be extremely challenging.
Well,
it's not impossible. Anything you set your mind to do, you can do.
Right. So first of all, let's talk about the definition of a homestead. The dictionary definition of a homestead is a home with some outbuildings and animals. That's not, I'm not quoting the dictionary, but that's basically the dictionary definition of a homestead. So, yes, you can homestead alone. I would suggest a few things. One, get your finances in order. So, homesteading with debt is a no-go. It's really difficult to do. Start small. Start where you are. If you're in the city, plant your garden, get whatever animals you can have. Rabbits, you can raise meat rabbits in the city. Most cities you can have chickens. So learn some of those skills, and then save up your money, and then you can buy some land or a homestead that way. So I would start small, and I would you're 35 and young, and you could be strong. I don't know. Hello, J-Dog's in the house. So I would say know your own strength, know your own body, know what you're physically capable of. So I don't know that you necessarily want to go out and build a cabin in the woods. You might be able to do that. I would not. But I could certainly I basically run our homestead, especially now that Chris has a job. And then he helps with some of the bigger tasks. He chops the firewood and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm working so late these days. It's like hard to be home.
He's not around much. But I pound T-posts. You can, and there are technology today. There's so much that you can do that makes it easy, or easier, I should say.
So I want to talk to spinal surgery here, Spotted Dog. I have severe back issues myself. I have several herniated discs, and I've never gotten cut because someone once gave me the advice, "Don't let them cut you, kid." And he was a famous movie actor, and I kind of took his advice on that. Anyway, one tip that I'll give you as far as trying to homestead or farm with a back injury is, number one, don't overdo it. I mean, that's easy to do when you have a back injury. But number two is if you take the time to observe and think about the problem that you're trying to overcome. And I mean, not just like look at it for 5 minutes and say, this will be best, but look at it and think about it. Research possible solutions, improvise, come up with an easy way to do it, work smarter, not harder, that whole thing.
Yes, I agree. And once and done, and not have to do it a bunch. Michelle, I ask myself that every day. Why do animals do the cuter things when the camera's not running? Or as soon as you put it down, usually. And Mom H, who is Honey Hollow Homestead, she does all the heavy work around her house. So it does depend on you. But if you can have a property that already has outbuildings, or if you do things in like chicken tractors and start small and then grow from there is what I would say. So
Honey Hollow said they like tools. That's one of my.
Oh yeah, she does.
What kind does she like? Do you like DeWalt, Makita? What's Milwaukee?
What's your favorite brand, guys? Are we gonna get into a brand word?
Well, yeah. What's your favorite brand of cordless tools?
Yes. Yes, Brenda. A plan on paper is a good way to start. And I would say, in addition to starting small, get one new animal type at a time. Farm Alarm and DeWalt people.
I'm a DeWalt guy myself.
What did Mom H say?
Well, Honey Hollow said Ryobi.
That's Mom H. She changed her channel name.
Okay.
So learn rabbits really well, and then get chickens, and then learn chickens really well, and then move on to sheep or goats or whatever you're going to have next. And knitting is good, and knitting is something you can do that won't hurt your back, and you can sell on Etsy and make a little bit of extra money. Everybody loves a good hat.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. We're 45 minutes in. I think everybody pretty much knows me. We're winding down. We're gonna
Gateway Chickens.
Cut this off by 6:15. So we're in the last 5 to 10 minutes ish here. Ashley, did you see my last video that I put up last Saturday, where we were talking about just get one chicken? You only need one. Just start with one. All right. So what other life questions do you guys have for me? Who's still here?
I got a question for you. So we're pushing 500, 600 videos.
Yeah, we have a lot of videos.
Do you have one that's your all-time favorite that just pops right into your head right now? No?
No, I don't. Do you?
I do, actually.
What is it?
It's the Cackle Hatchery store where I asked him about, does he have any of those birds that sit on your arm and wears a little hat?
Find a link to that and put it up there for one. I like the one where you fell in the creek. That was like the first one that came to mind. I don't know that it was a great one. Elizabeth V. Hi, love you guys. Hello, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining in. Where are you watching from? And you can't just have one chicken. No, you can't. But that's like it's the joke. You start with one and then you're gonna have a whole flock. I saw a shirt that was like, I just need one. Crossed out 3, crossed out 5, crossed out chickens. Don't, and the last one was, don't judge me, chickens. I loved it. All right, what did Michelle just say? It went away too fast.
We did pigs for the first time this year. They tore up their shed into 1,000,000 pieces as well as their pool. Husband says never again.
Okay, I can speak to that. For their pool, if you get one of those turtle sand boxes, because of the way it's shaped, they cannot flip them over. And we have one, and I got it on sale.
$10 or $7 clearance at Walmart.
Yes, at the end of summer. What is your favorite farm animal to have so far? Well, I like bacon. So I like having the pigs. I think the ducks would be... All right, somebody's got to get rid of that person. Seriously. People are weird. The ducks. Yeah. Hey, Ashley, can we make you a... can you make Farm Alarm an administrator if you got a second? We got trolls. Thanks, whoever took care of that, appreciate it. Ducks. We have Mr. and Mrs. Quackers, and we love them. They're awful cute. And
so here's the link to the video. I just posted it.
Chris just posted a link to his favorite video. And the ducks, they go in their pool every evening as soon as the sun starts setting. I call it their hot tub because they go up there every evening. And then they go straight to, they don't go to bed. They don't go to their house until I come out to tuck them in. I have to like shoo them and say, come on, Mr. and Mrs. Quackers, time for bed. And like other people in the family can go out there and eventually chase them in. But a lot of times they'll wait till I come out to tell them good night. So the ducks.
So that video that I just linked is the one where we actually got the ducks.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it's the same video.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cute. All right.
Farm Alarm, are you growing anything new this spring?
Probably. I don't know what yet, though. Some Farm Alarm blackberries.
Someone says, you're big time tonight. Little Creek comes says, you're big time, having more than one troll in your live stream.
Right? And normally I don't see those comments go by. Somebody catches them before I see them, but tonight I saw them all. Good gravy. All right. Bye, and good night. Thanks for coming by the live stream again. All right, if you would, on your way out, hit that like button. We've got a good number of likes. Appreciate it. Everyone who's smashed that like button.
Brenda says your husband might change his mind. We've only had pigs 3 times, but all my kids and grandkids would like us to reconsider.
I think that was to Michelle.
Yeah.
My goats won't go in till we give them their treat and tuck them in. My husband says I spoil them. You do, but that's okay. It's okay to spoil some of those babies. I don't know what I'm going to plant new in the garden. I do need more moderators. So, hey, Homestead Homemaker, you made it. Welcome. Lindsay, did you think of any good questions? Let's see. Who else is here? Lori Miller, hello from North Carolina. Sorry I'm late. Thanks for joining in. I'm glad you made it. We have about 10 minutes left. Bye, Sarah. Good night. So tonight's session was a little different. So you guys let me know in the comments if you would, if you like Lorella's live life advice and you would like this to happen maybe once a month or every so often, give me a thumbs up in the comments right now, and we'll do this again sometime. It seemed to be pretty fun and go pretty well.
So what's the one piece of life advice that someone has given you that you think has been of the most influence?
Okay, it's let dad be dad. So when I was pregnant and with my first child, and you get all sorts of unwanted advice, one of my friends gave me a couple pieces of very valuable advice. She said, from the time your baby is born, let dad have alone time with baby, and let dad take care of baby the way dad wants to. Nobody, the baby doesn't come with an instruction book. Mom is doing her best job to take care of baby in the way she thinks she should. But if she looks over dad's shoulder and tells him, don't hold the baby that way, don't diaper the baby that way, that dad's confidence with baby will be less. So even if you just go for a walk or you go take a shower, just let dad have alone time with the baby. And I think that both my girls really bonded with Chris very early on. And from the time they were infants, he had alone time with them. We were fortunate enough to have opposite work schedules, or I could arrange my work schedule. So once they got older and I started working, he would go to mommy and me classes and be the only dad in the group and do the wheels on the bus and all that kind of stuff with them. Carter in a backpack and Leslie taking the class. What?
Nothing.
Oh, you just looked at me weird.
Yeah.
I think that was one great piece of life advice, is that dads are different. And so when we go out to dinner and the kids were in elementary school and he would order a whole pumpkin pie to eat before dinner came, and I would never do dessert first, but I didn't argue with him, and I didn't say we shouldn't do this, or I let dad be dad. Dads are different, dads are fun. Kids need both in their life, mom and dad, if possible. So I think that's a good piece of life advice that I have.
5 kids, 50 foster kids, 6 grandkids, 6+ grandkids. You surely don't want to be the only one with confidence.
Right. And I hate when I hear moms who say, I'd like to go to such and such. I have to ask my husband if he can watch the kids. Dads don't watch the kids. Dads parent the kids just like you do. It's not babysitting if they're your own children.
This is kind of like you're drifting into word nerd territory.
No, it's a big difference. It's parenting, not babysitting. And I think, that's a soapbox. I'll get off my soapbox now. And then another piece of advice, it was also for new parent advice, always take pajamas with you when you go somewhere. Pajamas for the kids. Because they're going to fall asleep in the car on the way home, and getting them into their bed is tough. And if you just can lift them and you put their pajamas on when you're there and you drive home and they fall asleep, then you just gently move them to the bed. It's a lot easier than trying to change a sleeping baby or child into pajamas. Chris, do you have a piece of life advice you would like to share with everybody?
Well, it goes back to the finances. And my financial advice is, you can't take it with you. You might as well spend it.
Oh, my goodness. He's touching my nerve, people. He's touching that hurt spot right here.
Oh, yeah.
That's not at all what I thought you were going to say.
I'm working that auger.
Okay, so your turn. What is...
I didn't have anything really profound to even come close to what you said, so I just had to go there.
What is your one piece of great life advice that you would like to share with us, guys? That's true. That's true,
I think
Chris.
that's the first time I've ever heard that about myself.
It's true, though. It's very fitting. That's his middle name.
It is. It's funny.
Oh, that is. Yeah, so what advice do you have for me now, guys? What can you help me with?
Maybe someone can tell her what to do with me.
at this point in our life. After 25 years married, and how many years did we date? Like 3 prior to that?
Something like that.
I don't know if there's any change in him at this point. That's another thing that I learned too late in life, that I can't change people. Never expect from others that you wouldn't be willing to do for them.
Pick and choose your battles. Not all are worth battling.
Yes, very true. I don't know why. Oh, I wonder if I have Top Chat up instead of
Probably.
the all thing.
I think I did too.
All messages. There
Sorry if we missed anyone's chat.
Right. You are only as good as your word. Yes. Agreed.
Paint a target on the wall for when you need to bang your head on it. Oh my goodness.
Wedding night advice from Michelle C. Cutler.
Yeah,
be a lady in public and a in the bed. From your mother. How embarrassing that would have been.
Don't try to be someone you're not.
Yes. Good advice, guys. I like these. Live life to the fullest. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. Very true.
That goes on with mine.
Kind of. Our life might be a little bit fuller with some money management skills.
Well, that train's come and gone.
Oh, boy. All right. We are coming up on the 1 hour mark, and we have to get downstairs and have church. Well, I go downstairs with the girls. Chris is going to be up here with the youth. So we're going to slowly start letting it die down.
Landry Wilson, here's your shout out. Everyone go check out Landry Wilson's page.
We'll have to have some talks after this. Okay.
My wife says no.
Yeah. Otherwise, it just turns into random people who you don't know what their content is. That's not somebody who's ever been on. I have no idea who they are, what their content is, and people just go around their lives asking for shout outs that don't if you don't watch or whatever. He doesn't know. He doesn't do enough lives to.
I'm a live noob.
Yes, he is. We love him though. He brings the funny. All right. I guess that's about it. If you guys don't mind, I would love you to hit the thumbs up on your way out, so that YouTube knows that this content was great, and we'll put in some of these live life advice with Lorella's from time to time. And one last thing, Chris.
What?
Can you hand me that box?
Which one?
That one your arm's on?
Oh, this one. It came in the mail. There's an unboxing. People, hang in there.
Yes. I got a package from a viewer, and I have to do it. I brought scissors, but they're over there too. I think I can do this. I'm gonna not show the hey Diana, hello, welcome.
Landry has bunny rabbit videos.
Go back and watch it later after the chat pops up. There's lots of good discussion in the chat you'll want to read.
All right, Farm Alarm, I'm gonna let you handle it. Thank you.
All right, just in time to say goodnight, right? Yep, because I am, as soon as I open this came from a viewer / friend, Kelly, who heard me talking last week on the live show about how the squash bugs got all my squash, and look what she sent me. Not one, but 2 organically grown butternut squash from her garden. Thank you, Kelly, for that. Butternut squash are my favorite.
They are. I can promise you they'll be eaten because she'll be popping them in the crock pot to
one
make
for
breakfast.
the crock pot, one to roast to put in soup. Yummy. Thank you, Kelly. Love it, love it, love it. And the rest of my family doesn't care for them so much. So I get to have these all to myself. All right, with that, we're going to say goodbye. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining in tonight.
I've just never had
Appreciate
it fixed the right way.
Probably. I'll let you experiment.
I think I probably like butternut squash. I'm pretty sure I do.
Oh, do you? You like it roasted. He does
Yeah.
like it roasted in the oven, yeah. So I'll do that. All right, Vicky. We'll make a date of it. I don't know if there's enough there to share, though. Maybe if I grow some of my own, you can come over. All right, we're at the 1 hour mark. Gotta hit the road.
Hey, for
Good night,
everyone that
everybody.
came in late, the replay will be up in just a moment.
Yes, it does take. It takes a little while for the live chat to kick in, like 5 to 10 minutes, but after that, it should be up and good. Have a good evening. Thanks for watching.
We'll see y'all here
Bye.
next week at 5:15 Central Time.
All right, let's see if I can